मैं समझता हूँ एक संदेश देना चाहते हैं जो भी इसके पीछे है कि स्वाधीन पत्रकार जो है और जो स्वाधीन पत्रकारिता में विश्वास करते हैं, आप सतर्क रहिए, सरकार कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट के लोग हमारे घर में पहुंचे 6:30 बजे सुबह और हमें बहुत सारे सवाल उठाया। न्यूज़क्लिक के बारे में सवाल उठाया। उनसे पूछा कि आपने सिग्नल का इस्तेमाल किया? मतलब हाँ, मैं सिग्नल का इस्तेमाल किया। हमें कहा कि आपने दिल्ली में जो हिंदू मुस्लिम जो राइट हुई थी, जो दंगा हुई थी, आप इसका रिपोर्ट किया? मतलब नहीं किया। मगर आपने बोला कि आप किसान आंदोलन के बारे में आपने कुछ लिखा था। तो मैंने बोला हाँ, मैंने लिखा। तो अलग अलग लोग, सब इंस्पेक्टर से शुरू करके इंस्पेक्टर से एडिशनल कमिश्नर, असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस से एकदम DIG तक अलग अलग लोग, अलग अलग समय हमें मिलना पड़ा। मेडिकल एग्जामिनेशन हुआ। हमारा जो फ़ोन था इन्होंने देखा, सारे सामान उनमें से जो भी डेटा है वो निकाल के रखा। दिल्ली के इतिहास में ये कभी नहीं हुई कि एक साथ सैकड़ों पुलिस अधिकारियों ने 40 से ऊपर पत्रकार के घर में 6:30 बजे पहुंचा और पहुंचने के बाद अलग अलग सवाल उठाया और बहुत सारे पत्रकार का मोबाइल फ़ोन, लैपटॉप इन्होंने ले लिया, जब्त कर लिया। उनके पास अभी भी है। किसी को मोबाइल फ़ोन नहीं दिया वापस, और क्या कहते हैं, उनका सिम कार्ड वापस दे दिया। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये जो न्यूज़क्लिक के खिलाफ हो रहे हैं, एक दिन ना एक दिन शायद किसी पत्रकार के ऊपर इस तरह से कार्रवाई हो सकता है। इसीलिए आपको सतर्क रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है। मेरा साथ ये पुलिस अधिकारी ने बहुत अच्छा व्यवहार किया और मेरा उम्मीद है कि जो प्रबीर पुरकायस्था है, जिसका उम्र 75 साल है, और उनके साथ जो उनके सहकर्मी है अमित चक्रवर्ती, वो विकलांग है, उनको भी इस तरह से अच्छे व्यवहार करेंगे। इससे पहले ED एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट ने न्यूज़क्लिक ऑफिस के ऊपर छापा लगाया था मार्च 2021 में। फिर आयकर विभाग पहुंचा, फिर दिल्ली पुलिस के इकोनॉमिक ऑफेंसेस विंग भी पहुंचा, और अब ये UAPA, जो अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज प्रिवेंशन एक्ट का मदद लेके प्रबीर पुरकायस्था को आज गिरफ्तार किया और 7 दिन उन्होंने पुलिस के कस्टडी में रहेंगे।
We are passing through particularly difficult times for India's democracy, and in times like this, a media house, a small media portal like NewsClick, and a media sort of leader like Prabir are even more precious, because there's one part of Prabir's work and NewsClick, which is it's completely fearless in speaking what it regards to be the truth, in investigating the truth against people however powerful they are. But I think that in addition to that, what makes Prabir's contribution to India's media in these very difficult years of India's democracy even more special is his deep commitment to disadvantaged people, to oppressed groups, to working class people, to farmers, to religious minorities, and it is their issues that to caste minorities.
The arrest of Prabir Purkayastha and Amit Chakraborty was a very shameless event. It's a real blot on this government, because as everyone knows, this government cannot tolerate any kind of free media, and media that shows the people struggling against the government, that voices the people who are otherwise voiceless, the poor and the downtrodden, That kind of media, this government simply cannot allow to function, and that is why it has been harassing NewsClick and other portals like that for some time now.
The attack on NewsClick, a news portal which has been reflecting the voices of India's struggles of farmers, the struggles of workers, and other so many democratic and secular struggles against the policies of the Modi government, comes in the context of a much wider attack on democracy itself, which is also geared to a very toxic agenda, which is changing the very nature of the Republic of India and convert it into a majoritarian state determined by an ideology which is communal, which is very pro-corporate, and which is really based on Manuvadi cultures, which is a highly casteist framework.
The media which stood just behind the marginalized and oppressed and the voiceless people, on such media, if the government is attacking, we strongly believe that this is the attack on the marginalized voices and the voiceless people. And the freedom of expression is then a constitutional guaranteed right. To get that right, to have for the most marginalized people in the country, we fight with the society to get our freedom of expression. But here the government, the elected government, is crushing that voice, crushing that freedom of expression.
For the last 3 years, all the central agencies of the government have questioned NewsClick, employees have questioned Prabir and Amit multiple times. They have taken all their devices earlier also. They have not found a single shred of evidence for any of their inquiries, because there is none.
Somebody who should be held up as a kind of beacon or lighthouse in these dark times. It is extremely sad to see that he is instead being locked up and charged with some of the gravest crimes in our statute books, crimes of terror. While speaking out for Prabir and Amit, his close colleague, it is important for us to remember that there are 16 other journalists in this country who have been slapped similarly with UAPA charges. There are others who have been charged with sedition charges. All of these, are a sort of very, very important wake-up call.
Scores of journalists, I think it's 17 or 20 journalists now, who are under UAPA, and some of whom have now been released on bail. So the general framework of authoritarianism with a particular agenda is the context in which this is happening.
Because if there is no freedom to dissent, no freedom to speak what you regard to be the truth, no freedom to speak out against power, then there is no democracy. So while we call out for the unconditional immediate release of Prabir and Amit and freeing them from all charges of terror, let us at the same time call out for freedom for every one of these 16 journalists who have been charged similarly with terror crimes.
And individually, as far as Prabir is concerned, we all know his record. He was arrested during the emergency, he has fought emergency, and in all these years, he has stood for scientific and rational thinking. He has been a kind of a bridge between worker struggles, class struggles, people's struggles, and the intellectual community, and played a very important role in so many of those democratic struggles, bringing different sections of India together.
At the time of the emergency, he was one of the first people to be arrested. Actually, he was arrested, mistaken for someone else, but that didn't stop him from going to jail and spending 19 months in the Tihar jail under the emergency. That did not break his spirit, and he came out and resumed whatever different kinds of struggle he was involved with.
And Amit, in spite of all the personal difficulties he had faced, being a polio-stricken citizen of India, in spite of all his personal difficulties, he has been strong in his progressive and democratic beliefs and stood by them in spite of all the pressure that he and his family have been subjected to. It is a shame that the government of India finds it necessary to incarcerate, to interrogate, to literally harass and bully a person like Amit. And the solidarity is a wide solidarity, which is the people's answer to this government.
So we are standing in complete solidarity with Comrade Prabir, with NewsClick, for the freedom of the press, and everywhere in the country people are raising their voices in their support, in support of Prabir, support of Amit.
I hope he walks free soon, because Prabir's freedom is closely linked to your freedom and mine.
We strongly condemn, and we feel that there is a justice for the people who are working for the journalists who are working for the people. And वो लोग कहते हैं, usually they say that many times, we are kalam ka senani hai. So it is true, they are the soldiers of actually the people's voice. So we need to protect their rights, to protect the freedom, democracy, equality, liberty, and have the fraternity in the country.